I wanted to talk today about a personality type that I've spent a lot of time working out. I'm going to call it the black light. The black light is someone who is an empath. They're very sensitive people. They're very loving people. They cry a lot. They're just beautiful, sensitive people. But then they suffer an early childhood trauma of some sort. And then they have a dash of narcissistic tendencies that they tend to constantly struggle with. These narcissistic tendencies make them, in some ways, selfish. But it's more of a selfish desire to help other people. Sometimes an underlying need to be popular in that way. You want to be, helping someone so that you can be the best person who helps someone. That is a thing. So they're an empath with a little bit of narcissism. The thing about that narcissism is their empathic nature fights at it forever. So they understand when they've done something that's selfish, they think about it over and over again, like, man, I shouldn't do that, I shouldn't be doing that. They tend to have a lot of spiritual quests in their life. They love to learn about God and to think about different types of spirituality and to experience them. And they can't be satisfied with just one. They need to learn them all. So they, over time, erratically and obsessively, learn new things and pore over it, and they seem to memorize it in a really strong way, and they take it deep into themselves, and they're constructing this thing. And they're explorative. But the biggest downfall of this person, this black light, is that they tend to get into troubling situations. They meet people who they shouldn't meet. They go places where they should not go. They get into trouble, but they never actually do anything wrong. They're just there. They like to be around those people, maybe, because those people, they need them. They're struggling, and the black light thinks that they can change them or save them. So they get caught up in all these crazy situations, and they live a very difficult life, always brought on by themselves. They do this over and over and over again. But there is good news. The nature that we have as a black light will always lead us to good in the end. I just kind of had a jump start because I got in that car accident that nearly killed me when I was a child. When I was a kid, I used to, my uncle one night came to me in a dream when I was a little kid and told me that he had killed himself. And I told my parents, and they were actually astonished when it turned out I was right. And I always had a deep connection with God. I always spoke with God in my head and in my heart all the time. At all times, I was constantly talking and speaking and feeling and looking around, just loving everything. And nature really spoke to me. I always wanted to go outside and be in nature. And there's a complexity that I cannot explain with the relationship that a black light would have with themselves. They need this darkness, this suffering, this pain. They need it. They have to experience it so that they can take that darkness and go into the grunges of society or something just difficult, a place where they shouldn't maybe be, to save people that are in there. That's what they want to do. The black light is a light that shines in the darkest of places. You are beautiful, black lights. If you're out there, if you ever find this video, you need to learn to love yourself first. The best thing to do ever is to learn to love yourself, because you're going to get very confused on who loves you and who doesn't, and why does that even matter? It doesn't. As long as you love you, you'll be okay. That's the only thing that I didn't learn early enough. It doesn't matter what people do in life. It doesn't matter what they say, what they feel. I mean, it does matter what they feel, but I mean it in a different way. This is your life. You have to be satisfied with who you are and what you are. To find peace in what comes to you in each moment in life is the only thing that can set you free. If you're striving for everything to be a certain way, a certain perfection, you're going to be a slave to that. So black light, shine within yourself. so that you can shine to the rest of the world. Love you.